Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this special on the day Virgin Orbit collapse. In fact, it could bring down Virgin Galactic as well. We'll discuss it live on the show. This is a special. We'll be here for several hours today. We have people on the ground in the UK and in the US discussing what's going on and looking at our positions. Should we remain in Virgin Orbit? We're going to discuss the news. Let's get straight into it. So if it's your very first time here, please do click subscribe and ring the bell. Let us know you're here and give us a thumbs up. That would be really, really helpful. Let's go to my overall position and let's see where we are. Let's bring in the tickers, the prices, and let's get straight into Virgin Orbit and Virgin Galactic on this special. It's going to be a big day today and we need to make some very, very hard decisions. Okay, let's get straight into it. And let's see where we're going right now. This is my overall position, just down slightly. If I go over now to my main position here, you can see this is my position on my brokerage account. This is my Roth IRA, which is a big part of Virgin Orbit. And then this is my overall position. We touched 45,000. So overall, my portfolio is protected from what Virgin Orbit has done. But let's have a look at it closely. There it is. It's down 63. I'm down 63% on it now. And it is at 60 cents. And we're going to discuss it today. We're going to get your thoughts. We're going to open up the broadcast lounge if you want to phone in live and be on the show and have your say. Hopefully, we'll have some people call in from the UK at the spaceport as well. And we'll be able to discuss this all day. So we'll keep our eye on Virgin Orbit, the overall markets as well. So let's go straight into it. Here we go. So our overall position is just down slightly. The S&P 500 doing well. We bought some more yesterday. That's what's holding my portfolio up. Virgin Galactic is coming up this morning after a dive pre-market. Virgin Orbit is going down again at a little flutter, and we're going to cover the news. We've got it ready to go. We've got some news here for you. We've got some Twitter conversations. We've also got press release. We've also got a lot of different articles here, which we're going to discuss during the show this morning. All right. Okay, so Virgin Orbit going back down again. Did Richard Branson know all about this? Rivian is up today, 0.92. Tesla is up 0.45. Lucid is up 0.68. Apple is pretty flat right now. Amazon is up 0.23. And McDonald's is just down 0.5. Coca-Cola, we bought some more yesterday. Very happy with that. We're just down very slightly. J&J, also a little bit of a dip, not much. I bought some more yesterday. Google's looking good, up today. Microsoft is flat at the moment, slightly up. Walmart is up 0.28. Tesco is going back down, UK Walmart if you like, think of it that way. Next Era Energy is down 0.49. Enphase Energy down 0.57. Bitcoin, let's reassign Bitcoin. Just bring that in focus. There we go. You can see what's happening with Bitcoin today. Let me bring that there. There you go. Just up 2%. Very nice indeed. Tilray Brands looking good today, up 0.42. We had a big drop. We're still down big time. Robinhood is up 0.42. A lot of scandal around Robinhood again now over options trading. Unbelievable. People get very vocal on Twitter and stuff. Very aggressive. It's so silly how people get so aggressive and nasty. Anyway, SoFi, IonQ up 0.84. Canoe up 0.23. Ford is down 0.28 and Rio is down 1.87. And lastly, Meta is up 1.72. These are most of the stocks that I hold, and we cover them every morning. Let's have a look. Who's the first comments? Hi guys, good morning. Andrew Grady, good morning. Mike, welcome everybody over there on TikTok. If you want to be part of our main event today, it's happening on YouTube. Come and join us. Let me just straighten that for you. Come and join us on YouTube. It's a much better experience. It's youtube.com/at Martyn Lucas Investor. Links in the profile. To be honest, that's where our serious traders and investors are. People that watch me on TikTok are generally scrolling through looking for naked ladies. There's no naked ladies here, I'm sorry. So if you want to just see get a much better perspective, talk to my investors, talk to my traders, and get a much better experience rather than the side of my ear, you can join me on YouTube. This is my YouTube broadcast here. This is what my investors are in now watching. All right, let me just tweak that a bit more for you. That's a bit better, right? Sometimes you have to adjust it once you start the show. There you go. Okay. Let's get back to it. Okay, I think we're good. Morning or Octavio, good morning everyone. I think buy it will go over $1. We don't know. I'm going to discuss it. I think it could be a bit of a false trap actually. We've been saying for months it's probably going to run out of money. Indeed. Will this give you practice for when space does the same thing? Yeah, exactly. I bet you're glad I talked you out of selling SB 500 for VORB 2 weeks ago. Indeed. Thank you very much. Absolutely right. Now then, let's go back to it. Virgin Orbit. It's moving at the moment. It's starting to go back down again. Now, what we've got right now, we've got Sir Richard Branson calling round his mates, trying to get them to invest. They're looking for funding right now. However, he's already been buying in himself, and it has had no difference to the stock. Why it's gone down this morning, or last night in fact, is because that they furloughed the staff. They basically shut down Spaceport UK. I've been there, Spaceport Cornwall. I know what it's like. Remember, I spoke to the staff. They don't feel that enthusiastic. Now, the fact is, you've got to think about this for a moment. They've shut down. They haven't just cut staff to save money because they're profitable, like Meta, for example. They've halted everything. They've run out of money. They've literally run out of money. So they've paused everything. Now, my personal thoughts on this is not that Richard Branson is going to find someone to buy it. I think what's going to, or invest or fund it, I think what's going to happen is they've run out of money. Remember, he gets his money out anyway. He's got a convertible note. He's guaranteed all the assets of Virgin Orbit, the plane, the rockets, all the rest of it. So he'll get some assets out of it anyway. But what I think is going to happen, we'll all lose, and he's fine. I think what's going to happen is it's giving a week where they're not spending any money on staff. All right, they're not spending any money there, and I think what will happen is some retail investors will see it as a buying opportunity. It'll pop up a little bit, and then they will, and then it will be dumped, and it will go bankrupt. That's what I think. Now, what am I doing with it? What should I do with it? All right. I am down, as you can see right now, I am down. This is my brokerage account. Let me go over to my Roth position. Let me just change it to that. Oh, this is my Roth position, beg your pardon. Yes, I am down 64%. I've lost nearly $1,000. Not very happy about that, obviously. Now, I've got to ask myself the question, do I want to double up my position, spend another $1,000, if I spent another $1,000, I would actually be down about 15%. Spend $500, I'll be down about 32%, something like that. In other words, throw money after bad. That is one option I've got. I could do that. If I do that though, if it pops up, great. I can trim off the top and basically maybe get out on a wash. Or sell it now, lose $1,000, walk away. Or I could do absolutely nothing. Just leave it and hope for the best. If it goes to zero, I've lost my money. There's no point thinking about the $1,000. That's gone. That $1,000 is gone right now, and probably won't get it back. All right, just forget about it. It's worth $500 right now. That's what it's worth. $500. Would I invest today $500 on Virgin Orbit? And if the answer is no, I wouldn't, because basically they're scrambling around. I should sell it and take my $500 out, because at least I got $500. If I would buy it today, thinking, okay, let's take a lucky punt. Maybe Sir Richard Branson will find somebody and, it might pop up. Then leave it. This reminds us, though, of Elon Musk and Tesla. Tesla went through this. A lot of companies do go through this at the beginning. And it's now down to what you believe. Do you believe that Richard Branson is going to turn it around and they're going to get funded? Look at the economic climate. Look at interest rates going up. Look at the banks. Look at the rich people losing all their money. You have to be a very brave man to think someone's going to come in and rescue this. And remember, when he goes to those people and says, hey, do you want to invest in my company? And the first thing he says is, the first thing they ask was, did you have a test a few months ago and it looked like something out of your back bedroom? Yep, it was rubbish. And did you fail in the test? Yep, it crashed in the sea. So, that all being said, do you buy it? So that's what it all comes down to today. Anyway, I'll let you digest that for a minute and tell me what you think. It's, I think, a very, very risky play. A very, very risky play. So there you go. What do you think? I'm going to run a poll right now, and I'm going to ask everybody what they think, whether we should buy it or not. Because basically that's what you're doing. Even though you go, I've already bought it. No, you are buying it by simply holding it. Imagine you bought it today. Would you buy it today? So here we go. The question I'm going to ask in the poll is, would you buy VORB now? And remember, if this fails, Richard Branson clearly hasn't got any more money to buy it himself or doesn't want to. Why would he do that? Why would he start pumping money into Virgin Galactic? Virgin Galactic is a year away from doing exactly the same thing. So, there you go. Would you buy VORB now? Yes or no? I'm going to ask that right now. Let's read some of the comments in the chat. Virgin Orbit currently expects operational pause to continue through March 21st, conducting discussions with potential funding sources and exploring strategic opportunities. Virgin Orbit. Floor price related to security purchase agreement with Yal Li PN reset to $1 for Virgin Orbit. Second floor reset does not otherwise change any terms of convertible debenture. 22, I'd like you to explain that, please. Good luck getting funding when banks themselves can't. Exactly. I see it going to 30 to 40 today. Dump it. They've obviously been trying to find funding and can't. This wouldn't be happening if there was any hope for it. You do the opposite of the poll result. So I'll any buy. Andrew Grady, rephrase that, please. I'm not sure what you mean. Everything is risky. I would add more money and risking making profit. I don't think that's investing. I don't think that's investing right now. I think that is gambling. I see. Andrew Grady says, you do the opposite of the poll result, so I'll say buy. Do not come on here and disrespect. Have we had somebody come in and be naughty? I missed it. Did someone come in and be naughty? Did you get rid of somebody? Did I miss that? Oh, yeah. Let me have a look at that. What did you delete? I can view sometimes. It's not letting me do it. I'm trying to view deleted message. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I didn't see it. Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, so there you go. What do you think? I'm running a poll right now. Would you buy it now? It looks like 87% are saying no. I mean, every single thing around it is a disaster. Virgin Orbit has been an anchor in your IRA account. It has. It's brought me down $1,000. The question is, if I sell it, I lose $1,000. Gone. The $1,000 is already lost. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that, mate. If I sell it, I've got $500 out. I'm just going to change this because we're looking at the brokerage position, which is neither here or there. Let's go to the Roth IRA. There we go. There's the $1,000 loss. Look, $949. Yes, it's destroyed my. Well, it's not destroyed my Roth IRA, but it hasn't done it any good. So there we go. We'll come back to it and we'll discuss it throughout the show. And I want to get everyone's opinion over there on TikTok. Come and join us on YouTube if you can. Sell 50%. It's a good way of looking at it. Let's look at the overall markets and let's see. It'll all happen today. I don't think this is going to take long to resolve itself. I know they're taking a week, but I don't think it'll take long. Let's read some more comments. Project Freedom, $1,000, 5 payments and purchase, 5 boom, 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 should bring it all the way down to 4 or 5%. $1,000, 5 payments and purchase, 5 times, boom, boom, should bring it all the way down to 4 or 5%. Exactly, I can buy it. I know. You can lower your averages like that, but then, then you only want a small pop. I mean, that's another strategy you can use. You can buy more. I could spend another $1,000, and then essentially lower the average, and as soon as it pops up, I will make some money on it, and then I'm out. That is one strategy. However, I do think Virgin Orbit now is a complete and utter gamble. You are relying on Richard Branson getting someone to fund it, and that doesn't even mean it's going to be successful. Better start juggling, mate. There can be no assurance that these discussions will result in any transaction. The company does not currently intend to disclose further developments with respect to these discussions. So it can't be worse. This can't be worse. Right? The company aren't even declaring. They're basically stuffing it to the retail investors. And this is what Richard Branson does. He's a billionaire for a reason. Okay? Sell 50%, says Eric B. Unless and until its board of directors approve a specific transaction or other course of action requiring disclosure. That's from 22. Good morning, Tio Roll. Good morning. They have nothing on the table, it seems, according to their statement. Virgin Galactic has a lot more cash in hand than Orbit. Hopefully, they don't follow suit. Not that much more. Sashwin, if I'm honest, and this will drive. Remember, Virgin Galactic need to raise funds as well. They need to, dilute the stock as well. Mohammed Kahai's trading strategy inviting is to gamble. Indeed. That's not what I do. This show is called Martyn Lucas Investor, not Martyn Lucas Gambler. A price needs to pop for an averaging down to work. That's right, it does. And I don't think it will. All you do is throw more money after bad. Hoping for a BTC pump, says Ali Tisro. Okay, so let's go and look at it again. S&P is just dropping off. Virgin Galactic is going back down. It will. I think Virgin Galactic could dive today. Remember I said to you it's going to $3? I think it can. The only upside is, no, there is no upside. I was thinking if Virgin Orbit goes to 0, it focuses more attention on Virgin Galactic, but it doesn't. It does, but in a negative way. In a negative way. Anyway, we shall see what happens. Now, today we're going to be here until just before 10, which is 2 hours from now. And we have a special today. We have a special, I'm hoping, still haven't had a viral video yet. I've come close. I had a viral for about 24 hours. It doubled and doubled and doubled each hour and then died off. I haven't yet had a viral video. So I'm hoping today, potentially, possibly, could be my first one. I'm hoping you're going to join me for a special premiere at 10 o'clock. You've got 2 hours to bookmark this, share it on your social media. Join me for a live special. I'll be in the special live with you. There it is. It premieres in 2 hours from now. and I've done something I don't normally do on a video. I've made a production video like I do on my music on this channel, and I want to see your reaction. And I'll be in the live chat with you when you watch it live. Hopefully you'll watch it live. You need to do a calculation on Galactic's burn rate and cash reserves. It's no more than a year. When they will start making revenue to plug the gap, it's no more than a year. It's extremely risky. We are not investing. We are all gambling. Let's get that straight. Mohammed Kahain, I don't see what I'm doing as gambling at all. Buy when people are fearful, Martin. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that, and I do it all the time. What concerns me, however, is no one else is investing in it. No one else is going to fund it. That's what I'm concerned about. It's nothing to do with whether I believe in the stock or not. Nobody else does. So we shall see. Virgin Orbit, Rivian, popped up and back down. Tesla 181, still too expensive. Lucid, Apple, Amazon. Right now I've got no money to invest. I've got about $100. That is it. So nothing to invest at the moment. There could be more money available today. But everything now, all my stocks have reached bottom. You don't get on a sinking ship. That's right. So, do we sell it? Remember, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to buy Virgin Orbit. Have you missed everything this morning? Virgin Orbit, and it's going to bring down, I think Virgin Galactic is going to go right down to $3 like I said it would. So there we go. We're watching it closely. We're going to keep our eye on all the news today. So if you've got any news to share, please do. There's our overall position. There's my Roth. There's Virgin Orbit. Down 63% now. Don't throw money after bad, as 22 said, if it's a sinking ship. I think it's very, very important. Right, if you've just tuned in, I'm going to put a minute on the clock. If we can get 100 likes on the video today, I will give away a $10 cash prize. I know it's not much, but some people appreciate it. Not everyone cares less. That's fine. I wouldn't mind winning $10. If anybody else wants to win a free cash prize, it also helps the channel as well. Let's put a minute on the clock. Here we go. Smash the like button. Let's bring in Mr. Mini-Me. Help spread this channel to more people, and simply give us a like. There we go. There are 50 watching right now. Thank you very much indeed. And there the likes. We could get to 40 likes in 40 seconds. Come on, guys, let's do it. Let's get a record today. And we've got 99 likes. It's the highest we've ever done on a cash giveaway. Let's see if we can get to 100 today. There we go. 13, 14. We're going to be here till 10 o'clock. Another 2 hours covering live. We've got 35 minutes before the market opens. 15, look, we're at 15 seconds to go. Be great if we can get there. And we're stuck on 15, I think. There we go. So we'll just 16, 17, 18. We're going up in the last few seconds. And we'll come back and check out how we got on later on. Right, back to our Virgin Orbit position and our Virgin Galactic. Let's look at the news. We've got 35 minutes to go before the bell goes. Let's see where we go. See what everyone's searching for today. What's trending? Yeah, Virgin Orbit collapse is trending right now. So, yeah, I can see it. And here we go. If you see an ad, you can skip the ad. 35 minutes to go. The overall portfolio is going down. Remember, I've got a decent position of Virgin Orbit on my Roth IRA. Here's my overall position, 35,000. Virgin Orbit, there it is, going sideways. And we're down $500, and that's all from Virgin Orbit. Okay. Let's read some of your comments. Now then, I'm going to go into the broadcast lounge and open up the broadcast lounge. If anybody wants to call in, members can call in. I'm asking people to call in today. Broadcast lounge is open. This is the broadcast lounge. It's at the bottom on the left-hand side of our Discord server. If you want to call in and have your say, share your thoughts. Hopefully we'll have some people call in from Space Station in Cornwall today, as well as here in America. If we get any more news, we'll share it. You can call in. We'll go into the breakfast bar in a second, have a look if we've got any comments in there this morning. Let's have a look. The breakfast bar, let me have a little look. Okay, who's commented this morning? Here we go. This is the breakfast bar now. Let's push this to 2,000 views, everyone. There we go. There's the Virgin Galactic single. If you've not yet heard the Virgin Galactic song, it's gone through nearly coming to 1,100 views now. The money I earn up to $1 million will go into Virgin Galactic stock. There is the unofficial Virgin Galactic song. It was sent to Richard Branson. There it is. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, I love the breakfast. Looking very nice. If you want to call in, the broadcast lounge is open. Okay. Let's bring in your comments. Where's Virgin Orbit's clear pathway to being profitable someday? Isn't it just a gamble? It is. They've run out of money. Or what would the bull case with Vorb? They do have some customers. But they've run out of money because of the failure. But remember, SpaceX, Tesla, they've all had failures, and they went right to the wire. Virgin Orbit, you never know. They've got the product, it works. But they've had a failure, and now they can't deliver to the next customer. They need to fix the problem first. Ali Tisro, if you wait a bit, you might be able to buy the whole company. Yeah, it's only like, was it 311 million now? It's worth nothing at all. I can't, not sure what Bill's saying there. If most traders would learn to sit on their hands, 50% of the time they would make a lot more money. That's what Andrew says. Martin, check the calendar. ECB rate decision is 20 minutes. Very important, given what's going on with Eurobanks. ECB rate. Okay, we're looking at it now. The ECB rate. Let's have a look. 8 o'clock. You said 15 minutes. Oh, 20 minutes. That's not showing ECB. Export. I don't see that one. Export prices. It's all at 7:30. So you've got half an hour to go. Building permits. That's at 7:30. We'll cover all that, but we've got. Oh, hang on a minute. Yes, of course. It's 8 o'clock, isn't it? I was forgetting the time. I went early this. No, I didn't go early this morning. I was in the studio early. 2 hours early this morning, recording these videos. Anyway, Mr. Lucas, investing is gambling. Investing is not guaranteed, so we're all taking a chance to make money. Now, I understand what you're saying, but you're not ever gambling with the S&P 500, are you? Not long term. You are day to day if you're scalp trading, but you're not if you're long term investing. You're not. I know it's not a popular opinion, but most of it, not all of what they show and tell us is about space is false. I had been wondering how they would botch this. And Too Deep's comment there. Martin, do you do a song to raise money to buy out Virgin Orbit? Yeah. European Central Bank, have you got it? Ah, yeah, that's what it is. I have got it set to US only, 22. I'm going to leave it that way because from a display purpose for me, I decided it works better for me. But if you post me the information, and I know you will, I will share it that way. But yeah, I'm going to keep it in US mode. You're absolutely right. That makes perfect sense. Right, back to our live position now. Virgin Orbit is at 61. It's come back a bit. I'm 39% down on the pre-market. Now then, we've got just half an hour to go. Let's bring everybody up to date. We're watching Virgin Galactic as well. We're going to hopefully track a flight today. That's what we're hoping. There's a rumor from Virgin Galactic, but of course, a lot of attention now is on Virgin Orbit. So we shall see where that all pans out. Anyway, if you just tuned in, welcome to you. We've got 21 likes now, 36 watching. Thank you so much indeed. Okay. It's at the top time zone. Yes. I think you seem to be an hour late on the US data. I think your clock is set wrong on the calendar. It's because of this 1 week where things change. Maybe I should adjust it for 1 week. UTC 5, UTC 6. There you go. I fixed it. There you go. I fixed it now. Basically, it's this 1 hour UTC 6. I've just changed it. So thank you very much indeed. I've just upgraded that. Anyway, thanks a lot. Can we cover the ECB decision live somehow? Yes. Okay, I will do it. If a number of you want it, I will bring it on. I think European. So let me go over that. What 22? What will it be? Will it be Europe? What will it be? United Kingdom, United. I'm looking at the countries. What will it be? There's not a Europe. G7. Is it the IMF, International Monetary Fund? Is it that? Which one is it? And I will click on it. I'll post. No, just tell me what it is, and I will add it, because now a couple of people have asked for it. Tia Roll wants to know what it is as well. Can we cover the ECB decision live? Yes, we will. So what is the setting? I've got it set to United States. There's not a European. I'm assuming it's the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. I'll click that. Well, I'm waiting for you to come in, and it might be that. ECB. G7. Thank you very much indeed. Categories G7. All right, G7. We'll leave that in. Save G7. Okay. Actually, it's all about the G7 actually set to major. Let me change that then. Countries, major. I don't see major. Oh, just set it to major. Okay. I'll put this back later. Now I've got every country in the world in. Yeah. You got to understand, as a TV studio, I need things to be a certain way. Otherwise, it creates chaos. And what you want to look at, country set, then at the top to major. Yeah, it's extremely difficult for me to see now with the way mine's set up. ECB. There we go. The ECB, I've got it. I've got it on the screen. Okay, ECB. I will now go over to Bloomberg and see if we can bring it into the show as well when it happens. So I've got it on the screen for you. All right. Okay. Yeah. It's overloaded my system a little bit. This is... There's more going on behind the scenes here than you can imagine. Just use the flag to see what's important. Yeah, I've done that. It's slowed my system down now, but never mind. We're pretty much there. This is what we're talking about. Hello there. Good morning, Sid Arthur. How are you? Virgin Galactic. Vorb. It's going sideways now. Tia Roll, the press conference is in 30 minutes after the decision. So we're going to have the information when it's released. I will bring it to you. I'm waiting for it to come up. $7:15. So now that was, no, I was right. I was in the right time zone. because it's now saying 7:15, which should be 8:15. So no, it was right. I was right to be in 5 UTC. So you're getting me to change my settings here, and there's nothing wrong with them. My settings were perfect. I've gone back to it now. ECB rate decision. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. It's expected. Previous was 3%. Consensus is 3%. Consensus is 3.5 and forecast is 3.5. ECB interest rate decision. Okay, I have it here. And this is what we're talking about. For those of you who are confused by what we're talking about, this is it here. The European Central Bank will likely hold to its policy guide and increase interest rates by another 50 basis points to fresh 14-year highs on Thursday as the inflation rate remains high, but it might adopt a more dovish tone given the recent turmoil in the banking sector. That's what we're going to cover. So let's see what happens. We'll have it in about 10 minutes' time. All right? In fact, less than that. 8 minutes' time. All right? So we'll have that for you. Okay. Okay, we're all good now. We've set our time zones correct, back to where they were, 22. You said the US data was later when it was already come out. That's why I said your time setting. Yeah, forget it. Just let's move on, 22. We're all good now. Thank you ever so much for your help. Really appreciate it. Okay. We've got just 20 minutes to go. And the overall position is down. S&P is down. Virgin Galactic is down. Still going to, I still think now definitely $3. 60 cents on Virgin Orbit. Running out of money. Where are they going to go? Tesla is up today. Lucid is going down. Apple is down but pushing up. Amazon is down slightly. McDonald's 0.13. Coca-Cola is flat. Let's bring in some of the comments. You're doing some work on the side while keeping an eye on the market as well. Nice one, Sid. Usually nobody cares about ECB. Now all of a sudden, yeah. Now all of a sudden, everyone's all over it. The trouble is, though, I don't know how the market are going to react either way now. Good news is bad news. Bad news is good news. Sometimes bad news is bad news, and sometimes good news is good news. Nobody knows what to do right now. Uncertainty is the problem we have. That is the problem we've got now. So I'm not really sure where we're going at the moment. My overall position is 44.592. J&J has just come up again. Defensive stock, best form of attack. There's my Roth. It's down because of Virgin Orbit. Breaking, the ECB told ministers on Tuesday that some EU banks could be vulnerable. More bank failures today. That's all we need. All right, that's all we need. Anyway, we're going to cover it. It is out in 4 minutes time. ECB, European interest rate decision. I've got it here. 3%. Consensus is 3%, 3.5. Looks like they're going to raise it. I mean, what do we want? We want it to go up this time? I mean, the banks can't win, can they? If they put the interest rates up, it's going to cause more problems at the banks, more bank runs. If they lower it, they lose credibility. It's good for the market, not good for the economy. I mean, there's no win situation right now. The whole situation is very, very difficult. But like we've always said, there's always opportunity to make money. Yeah, that's true, Martin. Even if I knew what the data was going to be, I wouldn't know how to trade it. I ain't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Poland balance of trade reported previously, and we don't need that. I'm just looking at the alerts. We've got 4 minutes to go. ECB rate decision. We are watching closely, and we'll come back to it in a second. So we don't really know what it really means at the moment. Virgin Galactic is still going down. Virgin Orbit starting to go up a little bit, 65. I'm down 60%. I've lost nearly $1,000, 896 to be precise. Let's see how it goes. Seems Virgin Orbit is pausing. Yes, we covered it at the beginning. We did a special video before the show started, and we covered it before at the beginning of the video at Sid. There's a video on my channel. You might want to go and watch it if you want to get all the information on Virgin Orbit. If you look, I'll just refresh this page and you can see what it was. And also in the first 20 minutes of this video, we were discussing it. Right, my portfolio is coming up. Let's see if we've got that video up now. There you go. Here's the video. I just posted it. Information on the news. There is the video. It just came out some moments ago. Now then, today I'm hoping I will have a very special video. Hopefully it'll be my first viral video. I still haven't had a full viral video. I had a viral video for a day. It doubled and doubled and doubled. Well, not even a day, a half a day. It kept doubling every hour, which is what a viral video is, and then it stopped. Today, hopefully there'll be something. Maybe this could be the one. I've made a production video like I do with my music, and it'll be live in 1 hour and 45 minutes. I hope you'll all join me. There it is. There's a special premiere. It comes up in 1 hour and 45 minutes. I hope you'll all be there with me. I will be live, and I want you to be in the live chat telling me your reactions, telling me how you feel about the video. I'm going to listen and watch it live with you as it premieres, and I want to get your reaction live. So I hope you'll join me for that. Anyway, Virgin Galactic, Virgin Orbit's trying to push up. So I haven't sold. I haven't bought any more either. If I'd bought some more, right now, I mean, we got as low as 59. Could have made 10 cents a share. Well, near enough. Getting on there now. It's gambling though. If I can't make money at 166, there's no point owning the stock. Question is now, should we sell it if it pops up? I think Richard Branson just might do that. This is where you've got to be brave, because this is what happened to Tesla when it started. It went through periods of time like this. SpaceX, they've all been there. All right, 30 seconds to go for ECB. We're looking at the interest rate. Here we go, the European Central Bank. We're looking for it right now. In 15 seconds time, I will cover it. I'll also look on Bloomberg as well. Bank tension simmer ahead of ECB. Just a few more seconds to go and we'll have it. Here we go. Any second now. I think unlikely, I'm afraid. This is no Tesla or SpaceX. I agree 100%. European alert deposit facility rate reported at 3%. Consensus was 3, previously at 2.5. There we go. A European rate decision reported at 3.5. Consensus was reported at 3.5. Right, there we go. Let me go into the details of it. ECB rate decision. There you go. The European Central Bank will, we're just going to refresh it now. Just bear with me. ECB rate actual 3.5, forecast 3.5, previous 3. So they put the interest rates up in Europe, and the markets are diving on that news. Look at my portfolio. It's going down. More fear for the markets. DAX reacting negatively. Yep. There you go. This won't help Virgin Orbit either. More pain to come. There we go. It's suddenly turned for the worse. The overall portfolio is coming down. The S&P is going down. There you go. Virgin Galactic is going down to $3. We saw it coming. There we go. So ECB, they've increased to 3.5. Forecast was 3.5, so they've hiked rates. More pain for the banks, of course. They're trying to bring inflation down, but I mean, it's the right thing to do. This is quite ominous for what the Fed may do. Indeed, people were saying that the 0.5 is off the table. We've got a lot more pain to come, guys, but it's ultimately the medicine that we've got to take, I'm afraid. I think it's the right thing to do, ultimately. I've been saying that consistently. It's horrible, but I think we've got to do the right thing. And the right thing is to bring inflation down. Without inflation under control, nothing else works. Let's wait for the press conference. Maybe they'll have something good to say. Okay, I'm looking at, here we go. Let me bring it to you now.
Council's policy rate decisions, and they say they're going to determine it based on their assessment of the inflation outlook. They do have that one pillar where the Fed has two, but the ECB moving now to where the Fed is, it's saying that we're going to be data dependent. We're going to look at what's happening with the inflation numbers, and we, as I noted, are seeing them lower their inflation forecast to 5.8% for 2023, but suggesting that's still too high.
Mike, that line there that's just popped out. The ECB is ready to respond on price stability, on financial stability. Might be key right now. Are those two things in conflict?
They shouldn't be. That's the thing about the way central banking has developed over the last 20 years or so. Started with Ben Bernanke, the idea of separation of powers, where you would use supervisory and regulatory rules to deal with the financial stability world, and monetary policy to deal only with, in the Fed's case, inflation and jobs, in the ECB's case, only inflation. The question is, do you get some sort of market disturbance that is so bad that they have to bring monetary policy into it, as they did, all the central banks did in March of 2020 with the pandemic, and they did following the collapse of Lehman Brothers. But if you have just an ordinary sort of problem with one bank or a couple of isolated banks, it probably doesn't make a difference. They will perhaps bail out a bank if necessary. The Swiss did, the US did. But it doesn't suggest that the ECB is going to make any kind of massive monetary policy change.
50 basis points from the ECB, just about 106 on euro dollar outside of ECB HQ, just 25 minutes away from this news conference. Maria Tadeo. Maria, your reaction to this one?
Okay, we'll cover the news conference when we get that. So in 25 minutes. Okay, we'll come back to the conference and we'll hear, like someone said earlier, you know, it depends what they have to say. Remember, it's the same. It's exactly the same as the Fed, the FOMC. It's not what the rates are. It's what Jerome Powell then says afterwards. I just saw your comment there, Chris. I cannot believe it. I guess it was inevitable, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks for letting me know, Chris. Appreciate it very much indeed. All right, we're coming up to just 10 minutes before the bell. We're getting very, very tight now. Things are getting very, very difficult. My portfolio is strong, but we are going down. We hopefully, if some more money arrives today, we can find some new lows. But Virgin Orbit, I think I'm just going to hold it and hope for the best. I discussed it with Leah last night. I said, what would you do? What would you do? And I explained the options. Do nothing, sell it, buy more. And she said I would do nothing. I wouldn't add any more money to it. Yeah, thank you, Christopher. Appreciate that very much indeed. She said I wouldn't add any more money to it. I wouldn't sell it. You're already down. The money's gone. It's only down. I mean, you're not going to get it back. You're not going to get back the money that's gone just because you've sold it. Anyway, we are just at 9 minutes to go. We've got Day Trader of the Day coming up. We've got our special event today. Special, fingers crossed, first viral video. I feel good about it. I have no idea what's going to happen, but that's coming up in an hour and 40 minutes on the show. So here we go. If you see an ad, skip the ad. Let's go back to it. Game over for Virgin Orbit, I think, sadly. Simon Lynch, I think you're probably right. The question is now, is if we can get a pop. This isn't my main position. Oh, yes, it is. If we get a pop, I'm down $887. It's the first, we've always said, we've never had a stock yet where it's gone bankrupt and we've lost everything. This could be our first one. But you never know. You never know. What would be the strategy right now? If it pops up and I can get, because, some retail investors might like it, but, no retail investor, no one likes the fact that it's laid off all its staff. It's not cutting costs. It's cut cost to zero. It's not like Meta, who have cut back costs to save money, increase profits. They've shut the bloody doors down. So we don't know how that's going to play out. Well, we kind of do really, but I can't get back what I've lost. You noticed what Stephen Lewandowski's done. He sold all his VORB for a loss, 1,400 shares, tax harvesting against my gains. Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. I've gained a bit. I'm down 887. It was down nearly 1,000. I could do the same. Sell it now, 582. You've got some money, whatever. At the end of the day, I could put that 582, 588 now, into something else and make money on something else. It's now down to my belief. Do I believe that Richard Branson can get someone to fund it? And if we do, it goes straight back up, and maybe just sell it for a wash. Put the money somewhere else. Even if you go, well, now it's going to go up. The only benefit is to do that is to buy it now. And if you really believe it's going to go up, is to buy it now, add to your position at this price, buy it now, and then when it goes up, make some real money. However, if you think I'm just going to sell it for a wash, then you shouldn't be buying it now, unless you think 100% it's going to go up to a wash. And of course, you can lower the averages, and it won't require as much of a pump. I don't know. Nobody does. Let's have a look. Game over for Virgin Orbit, says Simon Lynch. Some wise words from Leah, to be fair. Yep. Wise words from Leah. I gave her the three options. Good morning, Nicky Boy Gaming. There are only three options that I see on the table. And she said, no, I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't add any more. I would just leave it. Have you bought any today? No, I haven't. I haven't bought any. I've got exactly the same position. Money towards drinks to celebrate me out of debt. Yes. Oh, Nicky Boy Gaming, you are featured in a special video today. You are mentioned in this very special video. Here's the premiere. It comes out in an hour and a half from now. There is this special premiere. Make sure that you are live in the premiere. I'm going to watch it live with all of you. Hopefully it'll be my first viral video. I feel good about it. It's my first production video on this channel. Here it is. This is the video. There we go. And you are actually mentioned in this video. You are featured in this video. Okay. All right. It comes up next. Hopefully you'll be there. Hopefully everybody will be with me. So here, I'll give you the link again. Here's the special premiere in an hour and a half. And for all our Virgin Galactic fans, if you want me to spend up to $1 million on Virgin Galactic stock, here is the Virgin Galactic song. If it makes money on YouTube, it's already now. It's just gone through 1,000 views. If up to $1 million, I will buy on Virgin Galactic with the money from this song. That was my promise to you. There it is. If you watch it, loop it, share it. There's the Virgin Galactic song. Okay. Take what you have left and keep the cash to buy something safe on a big drop. I mean, that's it. You see, I could buy the S&P 500. I could buy nearly 2 shares with what's in Virgin Orbit right now, and get my money back potentially over time. Anyway, Virgin Galactic is going down. Virgin Orbit is up to 67. We've got 4 minutes to go. What's going to happen on the bell? Don't buy any more. Let it grow into the price. It's now worth 592. Mate, it's going up. But Vorb have said they are pushing until the 21st. I think there will be an I think they will announce insolvency on that date unless they can secure some funding before then. Virgin Orbit, move in. Virgin Galactic could assimilate Virgin Orbit and make it a separate division. Potentially. What's the video link? I've just put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. I'll do it again. It's called Special Premiere, Nicky Boy Gaming. Here it is. This is featuring you, by the way. There you go. Virgin Orbit. I'm 58% down now. Don't start buying it going up. We've got 3 minutes to go. If you've just tuned in, if you could help the channel out, that'd be much appreciated. Subscribe and ring the bell and give us a thumbs up. That always helps. Just by tapping that like button, it makes a big difference to our channel. We've got 27 likes now, 47 watching. And if we get 100 likes, I give a cash prize away as well. So there you go. All right. Sell, Vorb. Tax harvesting, no funding coming. Virgin Orbit. Thank you. You're very welcome. The overall portfolio is going down. ECB, we're going to cover it again soon at the conference, the press conference. It's about what they say, but interest rates have gone up in Europe. That means they'll probably go up in the Fed on March 22nd. We'll be there live for FOMC. Virgin Galactic is going up. Virgin Orbit is going up quickly. 69. Martin, does Leah trade? Just wondering. No, she doesn't. My wife says I drive her nuts with stock talk. Thank you, Leah. She just bought me a cup of coffee. My wife says I drive her nuts with stock talk. Yeah, my wife says the same. All right, here we go. 1 minute to go. All hell's going to break loose. European banks collapsing, interest rates going up, Virgin Orbit going to zero, Virgin Galactic could follow. Here we go. Big boy pants time. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's see how it goes. "30 seconds to go. Virgin Orbit moving up. Thanks, Leah. Me too, Ed. we're all in the same boat, right? We're all in the same boat, all us lot. Okay, here we go. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It could drop. That means nothing. That's the charting errors. It does that every morning. Let's see where it goes. 67. Virgin Orbit. Oh, I see. It's on in 90 minutes. That's correct. 90 minutes exactly from now. Okay, let's go over now and let's have a look. The S&P, my overall portfolio is just coming up. The S&P is just coming up as well. I've got no money to spend at the moment in my Roth IRA or my brokerage account. Virgin Galactic is going down, heading towards $3. I've been saying now for months. Virgin Orbit 67. This might attract some retail investors, some real gamblers. It might just do that. I mean, they've laid off all the staff, not one or two. They're not trying to save money. They're trying to spend no money because they've got no money. Tesla is going up. Elon Musk want to come and buy Virgin Orbit? Lucid going down. Apple coming up slowly. Amazon coming back up again. McDonald's, it's just going down slightly. McDonald's is now getting still too expensive. Coca-Cola is coming up. I bought all I need. J&J is down 153. I buy it at 150. That's my all-time low. Google is down to 96. It's down very slightly. Microsoft is down. It's going down. Walmart is up but falling back. Tesco is going down 2%. Next Era Energy is up 0.54. Enphase Energy is down 0.85. Wow, Virgin Orbit up 20%. Wish I had pre-market. Let's have a look. Go back to Virgin Orbit again. Yep, it's starting to move. I wouldn't have bought it though. I wouldn't have bought it. And well, I wouldn't. I haven't bought it. I'm still down $864. I'm holding my position, and I'm considering the right thing to do would be to sell it. If I can get a wash, that'd be great. 69. Has Richard Branson got somebody to buy it? And even if they do, remember it failed on its last test and it was abysmal. The way it presented itself was abysmal. It wasn't a SpaceX, it wasn't a NASA. Right, there's my overall portfolio going down. Only down 0.9 though, nothing too scary right now. Roth IRA is down 3.3. That's all to do with Virgin Orbit. That's the main problem. J&J's gone down, but not much. It's Virgin Orbit that is the problem. But it is coming up quickly. It's now at 70. It's now 71, 72. There we go. Right. We could now decide to sell it for a wash. We've got a long way to go. We've got 56% to go. Let's go back to Virgin Orbit. See if we can get... I think what will happen is it'll go up and straight back down again. So it's knowing when it's going to go back down. A lot of people are now probably lowering their averages, which is what I could have done. And I considered it. I decided not to. Leah said no. Most of you said no. 82% in the poll said no. So we're watching it, and I'm either going to stay in it and ride it all up, and one day it's $4 a share, whatever, or I'm simply just going to sell it at some point, any point from now up to zero. I've got $635 now. It was down as $500, so I'm gaining money. What do you think? If you've just tuned in, please subscribe, ring the bell. We've got 31 likes, 53 watching. Please tap the like button. It makes all the difference to our channel. We get more people in. Let me share with you now the broadcast lounge. If you want to call in and have your view, it's you can call in via Discord live on the show. Here's the invitation to join Discord. It's free. However, if you want the exclusive perks and benefits, you need to be a YouTube member. Here is the Discord link if you want to join in. It's in the chat. Here is the invitation to join as a member. You'll notice 95% of our live viewers are members, with the highest engagement rate of YouTube to live viewers who are members. 70 cents now. It's going up. Let's have a look. Let's read the comments here. Martyn, are you still in SoFi? No, I sold it. The moment the CEO lied, which he did abysmally lied for corruption, I was done. I sold. Didn't like what he said. Complete fabrication. I thought manipulation is ridiculous. I cannot abide by liars, so I was out. So there you go. Virgin Galactic is going down. There will be a lot of short covering on VORB. Don't think it's bouncing because people are net long. There we go. Oh, here we go. It's topping out. The live stream was from a porter cabin on site. Exactly. It was terrible. It was the worst presentation I've ever seen from any public traded company. All of the short interest will be covered to close positions. In my opinion, that's driving the price up. They will cover it. It will drop like a stone. There we go. 22. You're probably right. Good morning, everyone. I'm down $867. It's a lot of money for me. It's a big part of my portfolio on my Roth. There we go. We had a very small pump. It gained something, but there it goes. It's going back down again. I don't know how anyone can save it. This is like Bed Bath and Beyond. This is, well, worse actually, because we all know Bed Bath and Beyond are bankrupt. This is pretending not to be bankrupt. What did SoFi lie about? The CEO of SoFi came on their last earnings and said there's going to be 2 to 3 rate cuts this year. And that was either a quarter or 2 quarters ago. And everyone on the show was laughing at him, going, are you serious? We're either going to raise rates for another year or at the very least slow the pace of rates, maybe even an outside chance of freezing rates at some point. But nobody believed that rates would come down 3 times. And that's what they said. And of course, being some kind of digital bank, that made them look really great and the stock price popped. Well, since then, and I can consistently put out videos about what a ridiculous statement. Since that ridiculous statement, we've had nothing but going down. It popped on the day. It's a bit like Mullen. They'll come on and say rubbish. It popped like this. It went all the way up. And ever since I've been reporting about, making up stories to promote the stock, it's been coming all the way back down again. So there we go. Virgin Orbit. Let's go back over to Virgin Orbit now. Virgin Galactic. There is the short interest now. It's now selling off. Maybe I should have sold it. Virgin Galactic's gone to $3. This will drive Virgin Galactic all the way down. I've been saying it consistently now for nearly 4 months. My position hasn't changed. I don't know where Sir Richard Branson is going to get money from and who is going to get money. We're not bailing out banks. No one's got any money. Who's going to buy Virgin Orbit when it failed on its last attempt and the presentation was the worst of any company I've ever seen? And I own shares in this. It's bringing my portfolio down. I'm down 60%. I'm down $889. Sell. Vorb going down. Virgin Orbit, Stephen Lewandowski has said, sell it. People associate the two. Jeffrey Diamond, if you would done what I told you, you would already gotten your money out, maybe a small profit. Project Freedom. You listen to me and I'll take you to the mountaintop to meet Mohammed. Very good. Hey man, is this space drop due to Vorb drop today? Of course it is. But it's more than that. It's more than that. It's a not one thing. ECB today, we've got European banks pushing up interest rates. We now know more likely Jerome Powell will do the same thing. We've got banks not being supported. Virgin Orbit won't get any funding. Richard Branson is losing his money. He backed it. He'll get his money out though. He's got a convertible note. He's got his money backed up. He's not going to lose anything. We will though. We haven't got any protection. But I'm holding. I asked Leah last night. I said, Leah, should I buy more on the way up? She said no. I said, should I sell it all? She said no. I said, should I do nothing? She said, yeah. So, luck be a lady, I am holding my position right now with the intention of if I can get near a wash, I will sell it. I've got no chance in hell of making any profit, but what the hell? Let's do it. Vorb as few too many low quality engineers. True. When I went to Virgin Orbit, I went to the space station. It was abysmal. I went there. If you want to check out my Virgin Orbit video playlist, you can. Let's go and check right now. The overall portfolio of mine is coming up. The S&P, remember, my best form of defense is attack. Best form of attack is defense. Virgin Galactic is trying to come back up, but I still think look, it keeps going up and then selling off. It keeps hitting resistance. It's going to $3. I've got no doubt about it. Virgin Orbit, there's no reason why it would sell up. Martyn, sell Vorb and put it all into space on the dip. We're down $800. I'm holding it for now. You never know. Richard Branson might pull something out the bag. You do know DJ Squirrel Radio is now also a subscriber. Fantastic. DJ Squirrel Radio is a subscriber of our channel. Wonderful stuff. Thank you ever so much, Nicky Boy Gaming. If he was a silver member, we would put him on the homepage of the YouTube channel and get everyone to subscribe to your radio show. That's another thing we can do for you. Think about that, mate. An investment in yourself. All right, painful day it is, but there we go. Overall portfolio's coming up. I'm okay. I've got no margin. Just bought 2,000 shares of space. Congratulations. I wouldn't buy it at all. I've already got my 206. I used to own 4,000. It's going down to $3. It's going down. Mullen is up 4.8% today. Mullen is taking the money. Oh my gosh. Virgin Orbit is trying to go up again. Let's duplicate this a minute and bring in Mullen. I know everybody wants to follow it. So let's have a quick look. We'll look at Mullen at the same time. We've got many of our investors involved in Mullen right now. So we'll keep an eye on Mullen. Virgin Orbit is 70 now. It's having another go. Listen to Leah. If Forb go to 0, still is a taxed harvest. Indeed it is. Nicky Boy Gaming, smiling at that one. Pete Barker, good luck. There we go. Virgin Orbit is trying to go up. Virgin Galactic. I'm just trying to refresh the screen here. Mullen. There you go, Mullen. I'm now down 6%. Oh, hang on a minute. There we go. 15, 16. Let's go to our main Roth IRA. That's our main position. We said we would double it when it went to 10. I'm still out of the money by 7%. That is purely gambling. Some people do believe it's a stock for the future. I can't share that enthusiasm, I'm afraid. Anyway, Virgin Orbit is still going up. I'm holding, hoping that Richard Branson can turn it around. All we need to get to a wash is they've got funding and it will go back up and I could sell it on a wash and move on and get out. All right, waiting to see what Virgin Galactic do. Here we go. Virgin Galactic is still going down. Nothing is a surprise here to me at all. No surprise at all. If you've just tuned in, subscribe and ring the bell. If you want me to buy up to $1 million worth of Virgin Galactic, and I will, I've publicly promised, you can get me to do that. How do you do that? We have got the official, unofficial Virgin Galactic song. I recorded it, released it, and I sent it to the Branson family. It's just gone through 1,000 views. And if you watch it, share it, loop it, play it over and over again, every time it gets played, it earns 1 cent. And I will spend all the money from the Virgin Galactic song on Virgin Galactic shares. I don't mind going up to $1 million on it. And it can. If you make the video go viral and share it, that's exactly what I'll do. I've publicly said it here on the show. It's entirely up to you. There it is. There's a Virgin Galactic song. Okay, looking good now. Mullen is going up. Let's bring everybody up to date. We've got day trader of the day going up because I sold, Crag. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm holding my position. Nothing has changed. If you see a commercial break, you can skip the ad, come straight back to us. Let's have a quick look. What's being searched on the channel? The number one thing being searched on the channel is Virgin Orbit. Yep, it's no surprise there. It's starting to move. Thank you if you've just subscribed to our channel. We're at 6786. Hopefully be at 6,800 today. 57 watching. If you can smash the like button, we get to 100 likes, I will give away a cash prize on the show. All right, on night. See you all morning. See you on Monday. Andrew, if you can, I know you're working, try and join us for what I hope to be my first viral video. It's a special production premiere. I've never done it on this channel before. It goes live in 1 hour and 15 minutes. If you can watch it, share it on your social media. There it is. There it is in the chat for you right now. Virgin Galactic still going down all the way to $3 is my opinion. Watch if it gets resistance. All right, it's trying to go again. It's hitting that, and let's see if it bounces off that again. So it tries to go up. People trying to make money from it, and let's see if it drops again. Right here, watch it closely, and it's trying to break. It's trying to break. Is it going to go again? Press conference starting if you're covering it. ECB, I will go back to it. I will try and cover it as much as I can. While we're watching Virgin Orbit trying to recover. 68, 69. Okay, here is the ECB. ECB raises rates by 50 basis points. I don't know where it's being covered. It's not being covered on Bloomberg. I'm watching it right now. They're not covering it. Sky News isn't covering it. TikTok is now banned on all government devices in the UK. I'm trying to bring you as much news about the ECB as I can. It hasn't yet.
A sale in Western Alliance down about 13% after being placed on watch negative by Fitch. Remember, First Republic already downgraded by both Fitch and S&P ratings to junk yesterday. We're on watch negative for Western Alliance. Both of these regional banks under immense pressure once again in today's session, John.
Kelly, thanks for that. We're waiting for President Lagarde. That news conference is going to begin very, very shortly. They had a...
Okay, we'll come back to that then. We might be able to cover some of that. I might be able to play the audio in the background so we can keep some idea of what's going on. That is like the American... here we go. Here we go.
Hike from the European Central Bank, widely expected for the last month. Communication from the ECB week on week for weeks now has almost pre-committed to the 50 basis points they ultimately delivered. But there was a feeling that the last week changed everything for this central bank. The tension with Credit Suisse, the bank failures in the United States, had we finally reached the point where things were breaking? Mike Wilson of Morgan Stanley put it well to start the week. The long and variable lags are here. Ask the question, is it time to pause? This ECB's gone 50, is it time to pause? I don't think they can offer us any guidance on rates whatsoever. They did offer us some projections, and I'm not sure what they're worth either. So 50
Virgin
basis
Orbit
points
69.
from the ECB. The market looks a
Virgin
little like
Galactic
like
now
this
down
into the news
6.5%,
conference. Euro-dollar
433.
105.92, positive about 0.1%. Looking at the bond market over in Germany, we've seen a real repricing at the front end of the yield curve. Yields are higher going into this one by about 3 or 4 basis points.
We're watching closely. Virgin Galactic is now going exactly where I said it would. Not that far away now. 433, 434 going down.
And focus on elevated inflation and really focus on getting rates up and CPI down against the backdrop of real tension in the financial sector? And is this a template for what we can expect from the Fed next week?
Exactly.
Here's the ECB President, Christine Lagarde, kicking off this news conference after a 50 basis point hike in the face to tension worldwide and going into chair powell next week at the Federal Reserve. What a difficult moment to be a policymaker.
Let
as
them
we
speak.
said repeatedly, truly stuck between a rock.
He's
and a
worse
hard
than me.
place.
So good afternoon. The Vice President and I welcome you to our press conference. Inflation is projected to remain too high for too long. Therefore, the Governing Council today decided to increase the 3 key ECB interest rates by 50 basis points, in line with our determination to ensure the timely return of inflation to our 2% medium-term target. The elevated level of uncertainty reinforces the importance of a data-dependent approach to our policy rate decisions, which will be determined by our assessment of the inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data, the dynamics of underlying inflation, and the strength of monetary policy transmission. We are monitoring current market tensions closely and stand ready to respond as necessary to preserve price stability and financial stability in the euro area. The euro area banking sector is resilient with strong capital and liquidity positions. In any case, our policy toolkit is fully equipped to provide liquidity support to the euro area financial system if needed, and to preserve the smooth transmission of monetary policy. The new ECB staff macroeconomic projections were finalized in early March, before the recent emergence of financial market tensions. As such, these tensions imply additional uncertainty around the baseline assessments of inflation and growth. Prior to these latest developments, the baseline path for headline inflation had already been revised down, mainly owing to a smaller contribution from energy prices than previously expected. ECB staff now sees inflation averaging 5.3% in 23, 2.9% in 24, and 2.1% in 25. At the same time, underlying price pressures remain strong. Inflation, excluding energy and food, continued to increase in February, and ECB staff expects it to average 4.6% in 23, which is higher than foreseen in the December projections. Subsequently, it is projected to come down to 2.5% in 24 and 2.2% in 25, as the upward pressures from past supply shocks and the reopening of the economy fade out, and as tighter monetary policy increasingly dampens demand. The baseline projections for growth in 23 have been revised up to an average of 1% as a result of both the decline in energy prices and the economy's greater resilience to the challenging international environment. ECB staff then expect growth to pick up further to 1.6% in both 24 and 25, underpinned by a robust labour market, improving confidence, and a recovery in real incomes. At the same time, the pickup in growth in 24 and 25 is weaker than projected in December, owing to the tightening of monetary policy. The decisions taken today are set out in a press release that is available on our website. I will now outline in more details how we see the economy and inflation developing, and will then explain our assessment of financial and monetary conditions. Turning to the economic activity first. The euro area economy stagnated in the fourth quarter of 22, thus avoiding the previously expected contraction. However, private domestic demand fell sharply. High inflation, prevailing uncertainties and tighter financing conditions dented private consumption and investment, which fell by 0.9% and 3.6% respectively. Under the baseline, the economy looks set to recover over the coming quarters. Industrial production should pick up as supply conditions improve further, confidence continues to recover, and firms work off large order backlogs. Rising wages and falling energy prices will partly offset the loss of purchasing power that many households are experiencing as a result of high inflation. This, in turn, will support consumer spending. Moreover, the labour market remains strong, despite the weakening of economic activity. Employment grew by 0.3% in the fourth quarter of 22, and the unemployment rate stayed at its historical low of 6.6% in January 23. Government measures to shield the economy from the impact of high energy prices should be temporary, targeted, and tailored to preserving incentives to consume less energy. As energy prices fall and risks around the energy supply recede, it is important to start rolling back these measures promptly and in a concerted manner. Measures falling short of these principles are likely to drive up medium-term inflation pressures, which would call for a stronger monetary policy response. Moreover, in line with the EU's economic governance framework, and as stated in the European Commission's guidance of March 8, 23, fiscal policies should be oriented towards making our economy more productive and gradually bringing down high public debt. Policies to enhance the euro area's supply capacity, especially in the energy sector, can help reduce price pressures in the medium term. To that end, governments should swiftly implement their investment and structural reform plans under the Next Generation EU programme. The reform of the EU's economic governance framework should be concluded rapidly. Let's look at inflation. Inflation edged down to 8.5% in February. The decline resulted from a renewed sharp drop in energy prices. By contrast, food price inflation increased further to 15%, with the past surge in the cost of energy and of other inputs for food production still feeding through to consumer prices. Moreover, underlying price pressures remain strong. Inflation excluding energy and food increased to 5.6% in February, and other indicators of underlying inflation have also stayed high. Non-energy industrial goods inflation rose to 6.8% in February, mainly reflecting the delayed effects of past supply bottlenecks and high energy prices. Services inflation, which rose to 4.8% in February, is also still being driven by the gradual pass-through of past energy cost increases, pent-up demand from the reopening of the economy, and rising wages. Wage pressures have strengthened on the back of robust labour markets and employees aiming to recoup some of the purchasing power lost owing to high inflation. Moreover, many firms were able to raise their profit margins in sectors faced with constrained supply and resurgent demand. At the same time, most measures of longer-term inflation expectations currently stand at around 2%, although they warrant continued monitoring, especially in light of recent volatility in market-based inflation expectations. Moving to the risk assessment now. Risks to the outlook for economic growth are tilted to the downside. Persistently elevated financial market tensions could tighten broader credit conditions more strongly than expected and dampen confidence. Russia's unjustified war against Ukraine and its people continues to be a significant downside risk to the economy and could again push up the cost of energy and food. There could also be an additional drag on euro area growth if the world economy weakened more sharply than expected. However, companies could adapt more quickly to the challenging international environment, and together with the fading out of the energy shock, this could support higher growth than currently expected. The upside risks to inflation include existing pipeline pressures that could still send retail prices even higher than expected in the near term. Domestic factors, such as a persistent rise in inflation expectations above our target or higher than anticipated increases in wages and profit margins, could drive inflation higher, including over the medium term. Moreover, a stronger than expected economic rebound in China could give a fresh boost to commodity prices and foreign demand. The downside risks to inflation include persistently elevated financial market tensions that could accelerate disinflation. In addition, falling energy prices could translate into reduced pressure from underlying inflation and wages. A weakening of demand, including owing to a stronger deceleration of bank credit or a stronger than projected transmission of monetary policy, would also contribute to lower price pressures than currently anticipated, especially over the medium term. So let's look at financial and market conditions. Market interest rates rose considerably in the weeks following our last meeting, but the increase has strongly reversed over recent days in a context of severe financial market tensions. Bank credit to euro area firms has become more expensive. Credit to firms has weakened further, owing to lower demand and tighter credit supply conditions. Household borrowing has become more expensive as well, especially owing to higher mortgage rates. This rise in borrowing costs and the resultant decline in demand, along with tighter credit standards, have led to a further slowdown in the growth of loans to households. And these weaker loan dynamics, money growth has slowed sharply, driven by its most liquid component. So summing up, inflation is projected to remain too high for too long. Therefore, the Governing Council today decided to increase the three key ECB interest rates by 50 basis points, in line with our determination to ensure the timely return of inflation to our 2% medium-term target. The elevated level of uncertainty reinforces the importance of a data-dependent approach to our policy rate decisions, which will be determined by our assessment of inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data, the dynamics of underlying inflation, and the strength of monetary policy transmission. We are monitoring current market tensions closely and stand ready to respond as necessary to preserve price stability and financial stability in the euro area. In any case, we stand ready to adjust all of our instruments within our mandate to ensure that inflation returns to our medium-term target and to preserve the smooth functioning of monetary policy transmission. We now stand ready to take your questions.
Thank you, President Lagarde. And the first question goes to Alex Weber of Bloomberg News. Alex, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I was wondering, could you explain a little bit how you see the path for interest rates ahead? I mean, until a few days ago, it seemed pretty clear that interest rates would have to rise further after this meeting, but you didn't give any guidance in the statement. Does this mean it could be that we've already reached the peak in interest rates? And then secondly, regarding the banking sector more broadly, a lot of people have drawn parallels to between what happened at Credit Suisse and Silicon Valley Bank and failures we've seen at the last financial crisis like Bear Stearns. Do you see any risks that we're on the verge of a systemic crisis like in 2008?
Thank you very much for your question. On your first question, I would call your attention to one particular paragraph, which is the first one in our monetary policy statement, in which we are really trying to dissect for you the mechanism of our reaction function. And this is really the best guidance that we can provide. And it is, number one, the assessment of the inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data. Number two, the dynamics of underlying inflation. And number three, the strength of our monetary policy transmission. So that's brand new. These three components, we never discuss them, we never let them out, and they are clearly identified as the three elements that will be taken into account to determine our reaction function going forward. Second point. If our baseline was to persist, when the uncertainty reduces, we know that we have a lot more ground to cover, okay? But it's a big caveat. If our baseline was to persist, as you know, the projection that were decided by staff, sorry, not decided, but determined by staff, are based on data and assessment of the situation with a cutoff date. And that cutoff date was February 15th for the international outlook and technical assumptions, and March 1st for the euro area macroeconomic projections. Now, since March the 1st, a lot obviously has developed. And the projections that we have do not incorporate any of the most recent development, and certainly not the impact of the most recent financial tensions that we have observed on the markets. So there is a level of uncertainty that has been completely elevated as a result of that. And that is the reason why we reinforce the principle of data dependency that we have indicated in the past with a clear map of the reaction function that we will have in the future. So it is not possible at this point in time, and on the basis of the first component that I have mentioned, which is assessment of the inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data, it is not possible to determine at this point in time, what the path will be going forward. But we know that it will be data dependent, and we know that if the baseline as we have it was confirmed and was to persist, we would have more ground to cover. On your second point, I will again read for you one more time what is in the second paragraph this time of our monetary policy statement, which is that we are monitoring current market tensions closely. We stand ready to respond as necessary to preserve price stability and financial stability in the euro area. And given the reforms that have taken place, and I was around in 2008, so I have clear recollection of what happened and what we had to do. We did reform the framework. We did agree on Basel III. We did increase the capital ratio. We did increase the financial coverage ratio as well. And I think that the banking sector is currently in a much, much stronger position than where it was back in 2008. Added to which, if it was needed, we do have the tools, we do have the facilities that are available, and we also have a toolbox that has other instruments that we always stand ready to activate if and when needed. And finally, and that's a tribute to our staff, because as you can imagine, we all have worked quite hard in the last few days, and particularly the last few hours. They have demonstrated in the past that they can also exercise creativity in very short order in case it is needed to respond to what would be a liquidity crisis if there was such a thing. But this is not what we are seeing. Thank you.
Thank you, President Lagarde. And the next question goes to, I'm now turning to remote participants, to Balazs Korani of Reuters. Balazs, please, over to you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for taking my questions. President Lagarde, could you unpack for me what you mean a lot more ground to cover?
Sorry, I missed the first part of your question. Balazs, can you repeat the first part? I missed it.
Yes. I said, could you please unpack for me your statement that there might be a lot more ground to cover should the baseline prevail? What does that mean? Especially given that prior to this meeting, almost all governing council members, including Philip Lane, has said that more rate hikes will likely be needed beyond March. So are you walking back on that commitment, or is the ECB's inflation fighting stamina waning? Are you giving up on inflation? The second question I have is the usual one, I'm sorry. What other options were being discussed in the meeting today? What were the alternatives that policymakers were supporting?
Thank you for your question. We are not waning on our commitment to fight inflation, and we are determined to return inflation back to 2% target in the medium term. That should not be doubted. The determination is intact, and the path at which we will cover the ground, the pace that we will take, will be entirely data dependent. That's what we have always said. And we are saying on this specific occasion that given the level of uncertainty that has been significantly increased as a result of the most recent financial tensions and developments, given that level of uncertainty, it is better to make the decision that we believe is a robust decision with our 50 basis points increase, and then see what the data tell us and what next assessment we make on the basis of that data. But let me reassure you, we are determined to fight inflation and return it to 2%. And we will take the measures that are necessary. They will be data dependent, and they will function on the basis of these three parameters that I have just mentioned to illustrate what our reaction function is. You had a second question, which you said was a repeat of previous questions, which I think had to do with any other options, what has happened behind those closed doors, and I fully appreciate the question. I have to tell you that the Executive Board proposed that option which is described in the monetary policy statement, and that no other option was proposed. I can also tell you that the decision was adopted by a very large majority, with 3 or 4 that did not support the decision, not in its principle, because they were ready to go for that decision, but they were keen to probably give a bit more time to see how the situation unfolds and what additional data we can collect. But otherwise, it was a very large majority decision. And I would say taken in rather record time. Thank you.
Thank you, President Lagarde. I would like to now turn to Kolja Ruzio of the German weekly Die Zeit. Kolja, please.
I would like to ask a question concerning the data-driven decisions. Isn't there a conflict of goals between price stability and financial stability? And to what extent do you consider slowing down the pace of rate hikes because of financial stability? Do you have to slower down, perhaps, because of financial stability? That is my first question. And the second, were you surprised by the financial problems we see now in the US, and we saw last year in the pension funds in the UK? Was this a surprise, or is it something which was expected, perhaps, by monetary policy experts?
Well, let me be pretty clear on that point as well. I believe that there is no trade-off between price stability and financial stability. And I think that, if anything, with this decision, we are demonstrating this. We are addressing the price stability issue by raising interest rate by 50 basis points, which is what we had intended, and because inflation is projected to remain way above our target and for too long. And separate from that, we also are monitoring market tensions. We stand ready to provide any kind of additional facilities if needed. We do have extensive facilities, more so, by the way, than the Fed in terms of size of the collateral pools and facilities. And we can do more if necessary. We have demonstrated that in the times of PEP. All the instruments that we decided in the PEP times, whether it is on the pool of collaterals, whether it's on the haircuts, whether it's on all issues, that can be reactivated like that. And we always stand ready to use them again. So, euro liquidity is perfectly addressed. No issue on that front. So there's no trade-off. We have to do our job. This is primary objective, price stability. And as I said, in the identification of the 3 components that will inform our decision, that will determine our reaction function, you find the word financial, if you look carefully. You have assessment of the inflation outlook in light of the incoming economic and financial data. So the financial issues are captured in order to assess inflation. So there is no trade-off. We have financial stability very much as part of our radar screen and the tools that we can deploy, but there is no trade-off between the two. Did you want to add to that, Vice President?
Well, first of all, good afternoon. Well, from a financial stability standpoint, and the perspective is quite clear. If you look at the industry as a whole, as the President has indicated before, the situation of the European banks, they are resilient. Capital is much higher than it was 10, 15 years ago, before the global financial crisis. The liquidity position of the European banks is robust. If you look at the liquidity ratios, on average, they are clearly above the minimum requirements and even the pre-pandemic levels. And even if you look at the composition of these liquidity buffers, they are high quality, very high liquidity assets. So in that respect, the composition is quite positive. And finally, there is something that I think that is relevant, is the increase in interest rates, is positive in terms of the margins of the European banks. And this improvement in terms of profitability more than offsets potential losses in fixed income portfolios. Looking at the exposure, for instance, to Credit Suisse, they are quite limited, and there is no concentration. There is no single counterparty that concentrates a large part of that exposure. And finally, as the President has indicated, we have a toolkit of instruments just in case that are needed in order to deliver liquidity.
Thank you, Vice President. And now the next question for Martin Arnold of the Financial Times. Martin, please.
Hello, President Lagarde. Could you just explore a bit more this potential for a trade-off between financial stability and price stability? Could you foresee a situation where, given the outlook for inflation, you need to raise rates further, but there's a risk that that could trigger a financial crisis or make a financial stress worse? Second question is that given that you've said the underlying inflation is going to be one of the key factors you look at when deciding, one of the three key factors, does that mean that until you see an easing of most of the indicators of underlying inflation, which you're not seeing at the moment, you won't be able to stop raising rates? Thank you.
Thank you, Martin, for your questions, the two questions. On the first one, as I said earlier, we don't see any trade-off between price stability and financial stability. And we will address each of these two with their respective instrument. For the moment, interest rate for price stability and the set of facilities that we have available, additional lines if necessary, including in other currencies if that is needed, in order to address financial stability issues. So they inform each other. I'll come to that in a second, but we handle them separately, and there is no trade-off between the two. It's pretty obvious when I say that the inflation outlook will be assessed in light of the incoming economic and financial data, that the financial data, whatever they are, will inform our assessment of inflation. So through that assessment, those financial data, we actually take into account development in the financial markets, financing, financial cost, terms and conditions, and the financing of the economy at large. Your second question had to do, if I recall, with my second. Sorry, wait a minute. I need to get back to my second item. Yeah, because you did refer to the key, but it's the second. The first one that we mentioned is the assessment of inflation outlook in light of economic and financial data, and it needs to be confirmed by the underlying component of inflation. And on that front, we are again going to be data dependent. And it is obvious that as long as we see underlying component of inflation going up, this is not going to stop our fight against inflation. So we will need to receive confirmation on the underlying component of inflation. We will need to receive confirmation that we are heading in the direction of our target of 2%. We are seeing some slight improvement in certain areas, but frankly, not a lot. And we know that whether you look at core, which is one of the components of the underlying inflation, or whether we look at, other dissection of inflation, and in particular when we look at services, it's not yet heading in the direction that would confirm the inflation outlook that we have.
Thank you, President. And the next question goes to Isabella Bufacchi of Il Sole 24 Ore. Isabella, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon. My question
Good to
is...
see you in real life, not on screen.
Thank you. My question is on the mentioning of monetary policy transmission, which comes in your decisions in the three points that you said about explaining your reaction function. So one of them is the monetary policy transmission. And also at the end of your decisions, you mention that the Governing Council is ready to adapt and adjust your instruments to preserve also the monetary policy transmission. Mm-hmm. So we think about TPI when we hear mm-hmm. about this. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know whether you think that TPI can be used when banking tensions start to jeopardize the transmission of monetary policy. And whether in your fully equipped toolkit, you could also consider to adjust the pace of the reduction of the holdings of securities under the asset purchase program, so the QT.
First of all, on monetary policy transmission, I will be giving a speech soon about monetary policy transmission and about the first leg of monetary policy transmission and the second leg of monetary policy transmission. All I can say at this point in time is that we're beginning to see transmission of our monetary policy through the credit channel. And if you look at rates, if you look at terms and conditions, if you look at the impact that it has on the demand of financing on the part of both corporates and households, we are beginning to see transmission of our monetary policy, which is really what we expected. TPI transmission policy instrument was precisely designed to make sure that monetary policy would travel and move all the way to all members of the 20 member states. Sorry, to all 20 members of the euro area. And that would be caused by factors that had nothing to do with the fundamentals of an economy or its general macroeconomic policies. We have not yet had to decide whether financial tensions would qualify in that respect, but it could well be the case. I'm advancing a little bit because we did not discuss that at all, and it's something that would need to be debated with the Governing Council. Nor did we decide anything on the partial reinvestment under the APP. That's a principle that we decided back at our February meeting, which has been in place now as of the 1st of March, and that will continue to unfold in a regular and unimpeded fashion.
Thank you, Madame Lagarde. Turning back to our remote participants, I would like now to give the floor to Jean-Philippe Lacour of Agence France-Presse, AFP. Jean-Philippe, please.
Yes, now you can hear me and see me, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, Madame la Présidente. One question on these underlying components of inflation you mentioned. Do you put the significant contribution of profit margins into these components? Because the profit margin seems to develop well, and that could maybe put some questions on the narrative of the ECB, very focused on the risk, either on the wage price loop. And I would like to hear what you think about this contribution of corporate profits to inflation. And a second question, if I may. Mr. Guindos, you are quoted that some banks may be vulnerable. You would have told this to ministers briefed earlier this week. I don't hear this today in your statement. Maybe you can precise or confirm or not what has been reported. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your two questions. And I just want to go back to the statement. I just want to find the right sentence where for the first time actually we talk about margins. And it is, must be in the inflation sections. Anyway, I'm not going to waste your time trying to find the sentence in which we, oh, here it is. So moreover, many firms were able to raise their profit margins in sectors faced with constrained supply and resurgent demand. So we mention it very specifically. It is part of the analysis that we conduct. As has been mentioned by some of you who are following us very carefully, we had a retreat of all the governors of the Governing Council to discuss in depth various matters, one of which was actually the various components that fuel underlying inflation, and we did have some assessment of the increase in margins by the corporates, which played a role. I'd like to say one thing, because there has also been reference to the fact that I would have mentioned the word wages X times during my last press conference. I think what we hope for is a proper burden sharing of what really is a quasi-tax. This cost push shock has been operating a bit like a tax, at least in portion of its form, and that this tax should be shared because there has to be some burden sharing. What we are concerned about is whatever the burden sharing, if that was to spiral into the second round effect that we don't want to see, frankly. But this burden sharing aspect is something that needs to be debated at society level, at corporate level, and is certainly something that we would welcome to the extent that it reduces the risk of second round effect in particular. On the other question that you asked pointedly, I also want to point to you the sentence which is in the second paragraph of the monetary policy statement, and as you know, the first paragraphs matter, and in there we say the euro area banking sector is resilient with strong capital and liquidity positions. And we stand by that statement strongly. But I will let you, Vice President, comment on this wonderful leak.
As you can imagine, I remember what I told the ministers, and it's almost identical to what I have just told you. So that the banks are resilient, high capital ratios, robust liquidity buffers, high quality of the main components of the liquidity buffer, limited exposure to the institutions of the US in that case, because it was last Tuesday of the US, and simultaneously that the overall assessment was quite clear. So that the banking industry in Europe is resilient.
Thank you, Vice President, Madam President. Next question goes to Andres Stumpf of Expansion. Andres, please.
Good afternoon, Madam President. When you talk about clear activity of the staff, do you think that if needed, the ECB could come up with a tool like the one presented by the Federal Reserve, accepting bonds like at par instead of market value, or would it face legal constraints? And I have a second question, if I may. You have visited Spain recently, and I'm sure you are aware that there's a concern about the low remunerations on deposits there. Banks say that this is because they have plenty of liquidity from the ECB. So I was wondering if you think that the low deposits are going to continue until TLTROs mature, or it is something different and you are not in the same point as the banks. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your two questions. So when I say that I have full confidence in staff creativity, what I mean is that I have seen them in action. They've been there, they've done it. And on the occasion of COVID, for instance, they were able in very short order to put together programs that proved extremely efficient in order to resist the downside effect of the crisis. So those tools exist, they are strong, they are powerful, and they can be reactivated anytime. We always stand ready to do that. Added to which the facilities that we have currently are probably broader and more accessible than the ones that pre-existed at the Fed. So I don't see the need at this point in time to explore any alternatives to the tools that we have, because I think that they function. If it was needed at some point in time, of course, I know staff will stand up to the occasion and will also look at what can be done within our mandate and in accordance with the rules of the treaty under which we are governed. On the issue of remuneration of deposits, I have spoken my mind on Spanish television, and I have observed that in quite a few countries now, the DFR is taken into account in order to determine the rate at which deposits are remunerated, either deposits at sight or term deposits. And that obviously this is something that needs to be debated between the clients and their banks. But I observe that there are quite a few countries where banks actually do that, and competition between them is facilitating that process.
Thank you, Madam Lagarde. The next question goes to Eshe Nelson of the New York Times. Eshe, please.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I would like to go back to this point about the incoming economic and financial data. I mean, in the past meetings, we've heard a lot about what the economic data is, the underlying inflation data. Could you detail a little more what the financial data is that you'll be watching? And is there a new emphasis on this data, or has it always kind of been there? And then my second question is, how much has the volatility we've seen in bank stocks recently as the meeting was happening affected today's decision, not necessarily the interest rate decision, but the choice to not kind of lay the path ahead more clearly? Thank you.
I like your last word, clearly. This is something that we are longing for, clarity. Because obviously we work on the basis of data, of observations, of facts, and there is currently, for the reasons that I have mentioned in my monetary policy statement, a degree of uncertainty that pre-existed, but that has certainly been amplified by the most recent financial tensions that we have observed in the last few days. So that has, it's obviously difficult for a group of 26 members of the Governing Council to come to a decision in the face of projection and the first of the three elements that I have mentioned to determine our reaction function, to come up to a decision. But we were certainly confident that this 50 basis points rate increase was a robust decision, considering the ground that needs to be covered. What financial data do we look at? We are particularly concerned, obviously, about our monetary policy transmission. So we look very carefully, using various analytical tools. We look at credit to corporates, credit to households, terms and conditions, restrictions eventually, if they were to be observed, to assess whether the financial conditions are tightening and what impact this tightening of financial conditions will then have on the economy. Those are the key components that we assess to determine our monetary policy transmission.
Thank you, President. And the next question, going back to our remote participant, goes to Tom Fairless of the Wall Street Journal. Tom, please. Tom, can you hear us? This does not seem to be the case.
This call will be ending soon, and we'll be going back to our normal show
also connected
very
via
soon.
Video call. Eric, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for taking the question. There's been a lot of parallels done with 2008. Obviously, the banks are in different circumstances, but in July 2008, the ECB increased an interest rate, did an interest rate hike just 2 months before the biggest financial crash in recent history. Is the ECB at risk of doing the same mistake? First thing. And the second question is about the transmission of monetary policy. It takes a long time for interest rate hikes to go through the economy. Given the uncertainty, isn't there a case for at least slowing down? You said you were data dependent, but isn't there a case now to slow down in the next few meetings?
Thank you very much for your two questions. As you said yourself, the banks are in a completely different position from 2008. And, crises are never exactly the same anyway. But the architecture of our banking system, the framework within which they operate, the supervision that is applied to the banking system have been all considerably improved. So, obviously, we're mindful of our history and what has been done in the past, but we are all confident that the decision that we made today is a robust decision, was called for, was needed, and we have, as you have noticed, I'm sure, indicated very precisely that as to the future, we would be data dependent. And that, I think, is predicated on the fact that we need to have a better assessment once the financial tensions on the markets abate in the future. On your second question, we are seeing we're beginning to see a good transmission of our monetary policy in the credit sector, as I have mentioned earlier on. I think we have seen a reduction of several basis points, 20 to 16 basis points, depending on whether you look at corporates or households, increase in the credit rates that are offered, and a significant tightening on the part of the banks that are probably assessing and reassessing the risks that they're taking. So this is, in our view, the beginning of an indication of good transmission of monetary policy. This is not the end of it. As you said, it takes a longer time. It seems to have transmitted rather rapidly, if you consider that we decided to normalize our monetary policy back in December a year ago, so it's a little over a year ago, and we are certainly beginning to see in the credit segment the impact of our decisions. Are we seeing dampening demand? That remains to be seen, and how much more does it need to be dampened in order to meet the objectives that we have, which is 2% medium-term target, to be seen. We are data dependent. We're going to really look at the uncertainty fading out, hopefully, and what projections we will be able to operate upon, as well as what assessment we can make at our next policy meetings in May, June, and subsequently.
Thank you, Madame Lagarde. Let's try again with Tom Fairless of the Wall Street Journal. Tom, can you connect?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks so much for taking my question. I suppose the first question is, we've started to see these signs of weakness in financial markets, and you haven't taken that as a reason to pause. But is there, do you think, a message in what's happening? It's something that we haven't seen for a while, and that has reminiscent, it kind of brings back memories of maybe the financial crisis, as other people have said. I mean, is just the unusualness of this a reason to kind of think twice about future rate increases? Do you think, with this phrase that we hear, raise rates until something breaks? And my second question was related, that at the moment, the bank failures were in the US. Do you think this is more of a US specific issue? Do you think there's something fundamentally different about Europe that means European banks are less vulnerable? or the level, maybe the level of your policy rate means they're less vulnerable? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your two questions. On the first question, I would like to just reiterate our confidence in our banking sector. As I said earlier on, it's a banking sector that is resilient, that has strong capital and liquidity positions. And we are monitoring the particular situation, and we are monitoring the market tensions, and we stand ready to respond with all the tools that we have that can be switched on, and by any tools that would need to be applied to the situation depending on the circumstances. So it's not business as usual, but we believe that the decision that we have taken is robust, is completely justified by the circumstances and informed by our current analysis. Is it a US-specific problem? We are all governed by, the banking sector is governed by Basel III, and banks operate within the framework of Basel III. As you know, there have been multiple discussions and disagreement as to who applies Basel III better than the other. But I would simply observe, because comparisons are pretty odious, that in Europe, we have strong supervision, we have strong capital, and we have solid liquidity positions. And as the Vice President said, exposures
My portfolio is about to hit a new all-time high.
Been conducted by the SSM. We don't
Virgin
have
Orbit
similar
collapse.
occurrence as the one that
Great
occurred
news.
in
Fantastic.
California, for instance. But maybe, Vice President, you want to add?
We're going to end this in the next couple of
perhaps,
moments.
the only thing to add is that the business model of the Silicon Valley Bank was quite unique, and that it was, there was a mismatch between the assets and the liabilities, and that, it made this bank vulnerable, and this has been indicated by the American authorities, to any important change in interest rates.
Thank you, Vice President. And the last question today goes to Leonidas Exousidis of Handelsblatt. Leonidas, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have a question concerning the excess of liquidity and the ECB balance sheet. Did you discuss about an increase in the level of reduction? And if yes, when could this increase start? Thank you.
Thank you so much. You give me a chance to be very brief in my response. No, we did not discuss. We had plenty to discuss today, and we did not discuss that particular one. Thank you so much.
This concludes our press conference. Our next press conference is on the 4th of May. Until then, all the best and have a good afternoon.
There we go. So we've just been watching that presentation, and as we did, the markets were rising overall. My portfolio is looking very strong. We're just about to come to the end of our show, but we have a very special premiere coming up in 15 minutes time, which I will be there watching it with you live. I'll be back this afternoon for the closing bell as well. So I would like you, if possible, if you've just tuned in today and you are new here, click subscribe and ring the bell. But here is we're going to be here for another 10-15 minutes, so don't go anywhere just yet. But I want to give you now, first of all, the Virgin Galactic song. This is the official, official Virgin Galactic song. And I will invest up to $1 million of Virgin Galactic, buying Virgin Galactic shares from the money I make from this video. So if you watch it, loop it, share it on your social media, every time it gets watched, I earn 1 cent. There's the Virgin Galactic song. But in 15 minutes on the hour, we have a world premiere of how it's a video, actually includes DJ Squirrel, actually. He was mentioned in it. But it explains how I lost $1 million and made $1 million, and my thoughts on investing and so on and so forth, going for all the pain of losing everything, and I explain it. Now, it's the very first time I've made a full production video, and on this channel. I've done it on my music channel, but I hope you'll all join me for the premiere, and I want your thoughts in the live chat of what you think of the video. I would like your thoughts. as it premieres, be in the live chat and tell me your thoughts, how you feel when you're watching it. I've used certain images and explained certain things in certain ways, and I want to get your reaction to that. So first of all, we've got Day Trader of the Day. That's coming up right now. So we're about to do that. So the premiere, this video will go directly to the premiere, so you don't have to go anywhere, but there's the link if you would prefer to use the link. Let me just check the actual link is going to go directly there. Let me just double check it's actually working, because sometimes we have to make an amendment. Yes, I need to make an amendment. I had a feeling I did. There we go. Save that there. Okay, this video will go directly there. So we're going to do Day Trader of the Day now. We're going to see who won. And I can play this song on our radio station. Yes, I would love that. Please play the actual video, because every time you watch it, it counts as a view. And every time it gets played, I earn a cent. And up to $1 million, I will buy into Virgin Galactic stock. Okay, fantastic. So let's go now and just do Day Trader of the Day. Let's check our position right now. Here we go. Here's the S&P coming up. Mullen has been up and down today. Virgin Galactic, still believe it's going to $3. There she goes. Virgin Orbit has been bouncing around. Let's read some of these comments. DJ says, I will play it on the radio station. Thank you so much indeed. Martin, are you still in Tilray? Yes, I am. Is my Tilray position. I haven't added, though. I noticed... DJ, that you became, Nikki, that you became a silver member on this channel, but during the show. So would you like me, because you have to request it, would you like me to add you onto the homepage of my YouTube channel? You can be on the homepage of the YouTube channel here as a silver member. You've got Nicky Boy Gaming channel. You can now have the radio station here, and I'll get everyone to subscribe to your radio station. No problem at all. All you got to do is say, yes, please, I'd like it, and I will put that on there for you. Okay, Mullen to the Lagoon, says Hassan. There you go. I'm going to buy another $100 when it goes to $10. 10 cents. That's it. Don't forget my birthday soon, yeah? If you're a member of the channel, which you are, you will have a birthday celebration live in the show. You just got to come into the show on your birthday, and we'll make a live video for you in the back of the studio here. And you will get to own your own video as well and get to keep it here behind me in the music studio. All right? You'll get to keep that. I go bankrupt. My portfolio is still doing strong and still about to turn green. Even my Roth IRA is coming up. So there we go. 44,882. If we hit 45,000, which we will, 45,001, that'll be a new all-time high. 44,919. Very, very close. Getting closer by the second. And 45,100 is an all-time high. Mic is muted. No. Let me just check. You can all hear me right? No sound. Everyone got the... Everybody got sound there? Let me just double check. Just double checking. We've got sound. Yeah, we've got sound there. Yeah, all good. Yeah, it's back. There we go. So, as I was just saying, we're about to hit all-time records here. 44,905. 45,100 is my all-time high. Despite everything's happening with my portfolio, I'm still okay. Right, day trader of the day, and then we've got our world premiere. It's a very special video. I want you to join me for it. Thank you very much for letting me know that the audio was muted. There is the premiere. This video will go directly to it, and I'm going to be watching live with you in the stream, and I want everyone's thoughts. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? It's my principles and strategies for investing and how to live with failure, how to live with losing everything and building it back. And in the live chat, it's a 5-minute video. That's all it is. And I want your thoughts and opinions. And that would be great. Okay, it goes live in 8 minutes. Let's go now to day trader of the day. So here's my position. I'm up despite everything and about to hit an all-time high again. Up 0.09%. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute on the clock. And I want to get everyone's thoughts. Here we go. Thank you, Shad. Lovely to have you here, by the way. You've been away a while. How are you, mate? Right, 1 minute on the clock. Okay. I am up 0.09. Let's give you a minute. Seconds to go. Is everybody behind the stream? Countdown. Let's count you all down. I'm good, mate. Very busy recently, but I lurk when I can. Lovely stuff. Down 2.85. I think we're about to make an all-time record. We are $100 away from an all-time record without margin. Remember, we've been about $3,000 higher, but that was with margin. Down 2.85. I'm up 0.09. I'm not going to win. Jeffrey Diamond is up 2.2%. This is your overall portfolio. Jeffrey Diamond is a member, so he can win. Let's have a look. I think we've got any more scores. No, I think we've run out of time. I'm going to give it to Jeffrey Diamond. It looks like Jeffrey Diamond is won today. I don't see any more scores, so thank you very much for your honest trades. Thank you, Jeffrey. Give him a thumbs up as well. Congratulations to you. And, of course, as always, give him the sound effects. There you go. Congratulations. There we go. Siddhartha, thinking about starting a position in J&J. I absolutely would. It's 44% of my Roth IRA and about 6% of my position in my main brokerage account overall on Robinhood. Very nice indeed. That's perfect. I am down 0.23, but headed north in a hurry. Indeed you are. There we go. Oh, hello, a minute. We are going up pretty quick now. We've got 5 minutes to go before the premiere. I hope everybody will join me. It's a very special video that I've made, and I think so. It's me being really honest, and I hope you like it. Let me check my position now. Here we go. We're up 0.39. And there we go. We are $60 away from an all-time high, 45,100 and something like that. So we're pretty much $100 away from an all-time high, despite what's happened with Virgin Orbit and Virgin Galactic. That is the strength of a diverse portfolio. And I wouldn't be surprised if I go back to my main portfolio and look at it a second. Yeah, it's going up very quickly now. Let's have a look at Coca-Cola. Yep, we bought it yesterday, and I'm now in the green all over. J&J is now, I bought 150 as my lowest, so that's good. I'm only 7.6% out. Oh, in fact, less than that. That's my brokerage position. My Roth position is much better. I'm down just 4%. There we go. That's what it's all about, these two stocks here. And also we're making money now on Amazon as well. That's a big part of it's 15% of my brokerage account. Virgin Orbit, it's just going sideways. It's gained a little bit today. Virgin Galactic has had a bit of a turnaround. It wasn't worth me buying it though. 45, congratulations. Thank you so much indeed. Yeah, we're hitting, we're right there. We're about $10 away from a all-time high. Right, okay. So now it's time to go to our premiere. I'm going to go there with you. I want everyone to give me your thoughts on the video, please. It's all about trading and investing and my thoughts and what it's like and so on. And I hope this could be a viral video for me. I've tried something different. I've tried to make a production with emotion and everything in it, but all completely honest. This video will go directly there, or there is the link. After you've watched that, if you want to go and watch the Virgin Galactic song again, and every time you do, I earn money, which I buy Virgin Galactic shares with, up to $1 million. There it is. Okay, I'll be back this afternoon for the closing bell. Join me for that, and we'll pick up and see where we end up. Premiere starting in 3 minutes. Yep, I'm just about to go there right now, so I'm going to end this show. We've done Day Trader of the Day, so let me roll the credits, and I will jump over there with you. I will be with you on that premiere, and I'd like, if possible, your thoughts below, your thoughts in the live chat, and then please afterwards put your comments in below, and that would really, really help. Okay. So we're going to end there right now. We're at 6,787 subscribers. We've gained a little bit today. All right, that's it. Let's roll the credits. Let's bring in the sound effects. Let's get out of here, and let's roll the end screen. Here we go. I'm not sure if we got any credits today. We didn't get any super chats, so there might not be anything. These are the stars of our shows, and Lucas Loopers are still looping all the music. Hopefully, in a week, we'll be there. We got a new member today, DJ Squirrel. I'm going to put him on the homepage of our YouTube channel so he can get more subscribers to his channel. Absolutely fantastic. Very happy to do that. And shall we celebrate very quickly? We've got about 30 seconds to celebrate. So let's celebrate our new member. Are you ready? In just... there it is. There he is. In fact, wrong one. That's the one I meant to do. Congratulations. There you go. New member. Absolutely awesome. Congratulations, mate. Awesome. Awesome stuff. All right, let me go back to the main screen. Let's end the show. I'll see you over there on the world premiere. Virgin Galactic is going up very, very quickly. So join me in the live premiere. I'll be there in the chat until this afternoon when we meet again in person. Take care of your money. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you live right now.